Mid-October, up in the Braes, thankfully. It's quiet and the forestry folk are nowhere to be seen. Mid-October, the changing seasons, the breathing of the continents, as Theodor Schwenk noted. Sensitive chaos. I'm up here with my good friend Alan Watts. Wonderful book I found in Oxfam in Byers Road a few years ago at a price that I could afford. And the book is, as it says here, the book I am thinking about would not be religious in the usual sense, but it would have to discuss many things with which religions have been concerned: the universe and man's place in it, the mysterious centre of experience which we call I myself, the problems of life and love, pain and death, and the whole question of whether existence has meaning in any sense of the word. And indeed you could wonder and wonder, because the industrialization of the human being has turned him from a tree into a breeze block. Hence the anxiety, the angst of man running about, scurrying about, wondering what it's all about. I came across this quote by John Stuart Mill yesterday when I was in the library, and very, very similar to what Gurdjieff said, that it takes great strength for a man to become a tree. And Mill on liberty said this: human nature is not a machine to be built after a model, but a tree which requires to grow and develop itself on all sides, according to the tendencies of the inward forces which make of it a living thing. Later on, Paul Klee, the Swiss painter, remarked on growth that growth wasn't simply the accretion of matter around a nucleus, but the spread of energies on all sides. And when you come up here, free from the imposition of society, from these technocrats imposing their stupid technologies upon you, not knowing that these technologies invariably prevent more than they provide. It's the first rule of economics: when you do something, you necessarily forgo doing something else. Now when you transfer that to technology, when technology provides you with something, it necessarily disprovides you. In other words, it prevents you from doing something else. And that prevention is invariably the prevention of a natural engine within you. And so the idea of technology here is that it imposes an unnatural engine from the outside, which usurps the internal engine, natural engine, which is self-cleansing and renewable. The external engine which is imposed upon you, called technology, is not self-cleansing. It's wasteful, it's profligate, it's dirty, it's polluting, and it takes away the opportunity, the possibility of growth from the inside. And so technology is really something, and yet none of this is ever discussed. It's simply thrown onto man, as if it was good. But as Jerry Mander says in his book, In the Absence of the Sacred, treat all technology with suspicion. Work out what technology prevents as well as what it provides. Because you can bet your bottom dollar, if it provides something, then it's taking something away from you. And so that is the question you need to ask before you buy into this horse shit, you know, people gazing into phones, you know, nailing their eyes down, sealing their senses up, barricading their whole selves off. I mean, they might as well be walking about in pressure suits. It's that bad. And when you give up awareness, if you look at the etymology of the word, it comes from the High Germanic, which means truth. And in fact, the Druids in Scotland used the same word for truth as they did for tree. And so awareness is to inhabit truth. To be aware is to inhabit truth. And it follows that if you're not aware, if you're clammed up and sealed up behind technologies that prevent your natural engines from engaging, then you're not inhabiting truth. You're inhabiting a sort of falsehood, you know, a realm, a dimension that has been completely fabricated by people who simply want to profit, you know, in the most despicable way. So this is the thing, you know, work out technology. Look at the real techne, the real logos, which is a uniting of the human being with the cosmos, not a fragmenting. It takes great strength for man to become a tree, indeed.